What's going on, folks? So, Memories of Old have a new single here called Memories of Old, and it's from their new upcoming album, October 24th. If I'm not mistaken, really, really looking forward to that bad boy. But in the meantime, let's see what they're bringing with this new single, title track, Memories of Old, the literal band title track. So, curious to see what we got. Rangers, go. So I think any of y'all who watch my channel frequently probably have a pretty good idea of what I'm going to say about this song. Probably have a pretty good idea. Almost verbatim, possibly. So I guess I'll start with the elephant in the room. The main thing that I know a lot of you will again know what I'm going to say is that chorus was not for me. I tend to gravitate away from a chorus that is just very repetitive, kind of repeats like the same thing over and over. It's done in kind of like a chant like fashion, and the rhythm is solid, but it's just that memories of old, ba ba ba. It just it's that sort of thing is just not for me. So I just would have liked a little bit more variety there in the chorus, and I think one of the things that makes it even more glaring is that the whole song kind of has the same sort of rhythm. It's a couple spots it changes a little bit, but the whole song really kind of has that. So when you have all of that, and then it just kind of goes into the chorus that just has that, and it repeats kind of the same thing over and over, very kind of basic, straightforward kind of melody. Again, it's somewhat chant-like as opposed to like an actual melody for the most part. It just, yeah, I mean, it kind of increases the feeling of redundancy. So that's definitely like my biggest kind of issue with the song is that chorus. One thing that was interesting, I was not quite expecting this kind of sound from the band. I was a little taken aback. It's got a real kind of classic heavy metal sort of feel to it, as opposed to like the grandiose, fantasy stuff, which that totally fine, totally fine. You do not need to have the fantastical stuff. But it just, again, it's just the repetitive nature of the song. What was a tough pill for me to swallow. The way it starts out was kind of neat. I mean, it lets you know right off the rip. I mean, the song wears its heart on its sleeve. Right in the beginning, you kind of know what you're in for because the guitars come in. It's got that kind of classic sort of heavy metal rhythm and stuff like that. I like the kind of grunts or chants or whatever there in the beginning. It was pretty cool. And then I thought it was neat. It almost doesn't sound like Memories of Old, and then the keyboard kind of chimes in a little bit, and it's like, oh, okay, here's that Memories of Old kind of flavor there, and I think the keyboard is what really contributed like the Memories of Old feel to the song, because even the vocals, I feel like he was kind of constrained a little bit, like a little subdued, wasn't able to just really go all out. There's a couple spots he does. But that's another thing. It just feels like, it's like, when you hear his voice, you want to hear him just go all out. But again, like, don't have to. That's for sure. But so you kind of have that, and the verses kick in, and they're all right. But I like the pre-chorus. The pre-chorus kind of lifts things up a little bit. It gives a little bit of a dynamic to the song, because that's another thing. I just feel like the song is just very one note. Like it just stays too static. There's not much movement here in the song at all, and I think that's another thing. I keep going back to I'm being redundant, but that's another thing that I think leads to a redundancy sort of vibe in this song, is that there's not a whole lot of movement. It's just bump, 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 it just, yeah, anyway. So yeah, I like that pre-chorus. Then you get into the chorus. I've already talked about the chorus enough. And then I like the bridge. I thought the bridge was cool. There's some really cool elements there. I like the solo. I like when the keyboard chimes in with the kind of orchestral sort of sounds. Again, adding that Memories of Old touch, adding a little bit of grandiosity to the song. I enjoyed that. Some of the vocals. And then you kind of get the chorus, and there's a little bit more, I think, vocal movement, like in the final chorus. But still, at the end of the day, it just, yeah, I don't know. And I hate saying that because I love Memories of Old, but this song, and I'm always just going to be honest with you folks with my personal, honest thoughts. And this song just didn't really do it for me. It was a little bit underwhelming. And, and again, don't take it the wrong way as that it has to be this grandiose spectacle. Absolutely not. Like, I'm all for a band kind of playing with their sound, trying something different. Like, that's awesome. Like, I love that. It's that creativity, that I love that. I love that. So, but here, going like a heavy metal, classic kind of heavy metal sort of route, neat idea. But it just, in the execution, and then just for me personally, it just didn't really hit the mark. It just, again, it's just kind of that redundancy thing that I keep going back to. So, yeah. Speaking of redundancy, I'm guilty right now because I keep saying the same thing over and over. So, yeah, so, that's how I feel about this song. But let me know, folks, in the comments down below, what do you think of this song here? Are you excited for the new album? I mean, I know I definitely am, without a doubt. So, yeah, that's what I got for you. Let's talk about it in the comments, and I'll catch you next time. Ranger, out.